A snow-covered site is ready for its transformation. Over the next several days, carefully prepared materials and skilled teamwork will turn this empty foundation into a solid wooden home. The delivery truck unloads long structural timbers, bringing the primary building materials to the site. Organizing them efficiently now will make every stage of construction more productive. Each timber is inspected before construction begins. Checking the condition and orientation of every beam helps prevent alignment issues once the main structure starts taking shape. The crew begins measuring and marking the timbers with precision. Accurate layout at this stage ensures every connection will fit correctly during assembly. Power tools speed up the cutting process, but every adjustment is still guided by careful craftsmanship. Precision remains more important than working quickly. With the first cuts complete, the structural members are prepared for installation. Each finished beam moves the project one step closer to forming the home's foundation frame. The team begins lifting the long beams into position across the prepared supports. Proper placement here establishes the framework that every future section will depend upon. The next stage marks an important turning point. Once these heavy timbers are secured, the outline of the future house will finally become easy to recognize. Each beam is carefully aligned before fastening, with the crew making small corrections to maintain straight lines across the entire foundation structure. Working together allows the builders to position large timbers safely despite their weight. Team coordination is just as important as precision during structural assembly. The rectangular base gradually comes together, revealing the true footprint of the future home. Every completed connection strengthens the entire framework. Measurements are checked again before work continues. Verifying each dimension now prevents small errors from becoming major problems later in the build. Fasteners are secured throughout the frame, locking the heavy timbers firmly into place. The structure is beginning to feel increasingly rigid and dependable. With the primary base nearly complete, attention shifts toward preparing the next series of components that will gradually raise the building above ground level. More structural members are carried into position as construction continues at a steady pace. Careful sequencing keeps the build efficient without sacrificing accuracy. The completed framework already hints at the home's final dimensions. Although only the base is visible, the project is beginning to take recognizable shape. The crew continues refining the frame, making final adjustments before the next major construction phase begins. Solid preparation now supports everything that follows. With the base framework securely in place, construction now moves upward. The next series of structural components will begin defining the home's true shape and strength. The crew carefully positions the first wall sections, checking every measurement before fastening them permanently. Accurate alignment here keeps the entire structure square and stable. Each timber is secured one connection at a time, gradually transforming the flat platform into the first visible walls of the house. Every joint adds structural strength. Temporary supports keep the new sections perfectly upright while additional framing is installed. Small adjustments now prevent larger alignment problems later. Additional wall frames are lifted into place, expanding the structure across the foundation. The building's final footprint is becoming increasingly recognizable. The crew checks every connection before moving forward, ensuring each timber locks securely into the growing framework. Precision remains the priority throughout the build. With more of the walls completed, the project begins to resemble a real home rather than a construction site. The transformation is becoming easier to appreciate. The next stage introduces another critical structural element. What follows will strengthen the walls while preparing the house for the weight of the roof above. Long horizontal beams are carefully lifted into position, tying the wall sections together and creating a stronger framework capable of supporting the next phase. Each beam is adjusted until every connection fits tightly. Careful placement now distributes structural loads evenly across the entire building. Working in coordination, the builders continue raising the upper framework with steady precision. Teamwork is essential when handling timbers of this size. The outline of the future house becomes even more defined as additional framing completes another major section of the structure. Measurements are verified once again before fastening continues. These repeated inspections ensure the finished home remains level and structurally sound. More framing members are installed to reinforce the walls, creating a rigid structure that can safely support the roof system still to come. The house now stands noticeably taller, revealing its overall proportions for the first time. Every completed section brings the project closer to enclosure. Attention shifts toward preparing the upper structure, where careful planning will soon allow roof construction to begin without unnecessary delays. The builders continue refining every connection, making small corrections wherever needed before progressing to the next major structural milestone. Another significant change is approaching. The next construction phase will dramatically alter the appearance of the house as work begins above the walls. With the wall framework securely completed, the structure is fully prepared for the roof assembly. The next stage will bring the project one step closer to being weather protected. With the structure prepared for the next phase, attention now shifts to enclosing the frame. The first exterior panels begin transforming the open walls into solid surfaces. Large sheathing boards are positioned and secured to the wall framing. These panels add rigidity, helping the structure resist movement and external forces. Each panel is carefully aligned before fastening, ensuring clean edges and tight joints. Proper placement here improves both strength and future finishing work. Openings for doors and windows remain clearly defined as the sheathing progresses. These gaps will later be fitted with frames and fixtures. More panels are added across the exterior, steadily enclosing the structure. The building now begins to feel more protected from the surrounding environment. With wall coverage expanding, the project transitions from an exposed frame into a partially enclosed shell. This marks a significant structural milestone. Attention now shifts upward. The next stage focuses on creating a solid surface above, preparing the structure for full overhead protection. Roof panels are lifted into place and aligned along the upper frame. These boards form the base layer that will support future roofing materials. Working carefully at height, the builders secure each section while maintaining consistent spacing. Stability here is essential for long-term durability. As more panels are installed, the roof surface begins to take shape. The structure is now noticeably closer to being fully enclosed. The team continues fastening each board, ensuring every connection is tight and secure. Even small gaps are avoided to maintain structural integrity. With steady progress, the roof deck expands across the entire structure. The building's silhouette becomes more defined against the landscape. Another key moment is approaching. What follows will significantly improve protection from the elements and complete a major phase of construction. Additional roof sections are installed, closing remaining gaps and strengthening the overall surface. The structure is now nearing full coverage from above. Final adjustments are made to ensure every panel sits flush. Consistency across the surface helps distribute loads evenly. Work continues even as conditions change, with the team maintaining steady progress. Consistency is key to completing large surface areas like this. The The last sections of the roof deck are secured into place. With this, the structure achieves a continuous overhead barrier for the first time. From inside, the newly completed ceiling is now visible, clearly defining the interior space. The cabin is beginning to feel enclosed and sheltered. With both walls and roof now enclosed, the structure is ready for the next phase. The upcoming work will focus on refining and protecting the interior. Small finishing touches continue across the build, improving both appearance and overall usability. The project is nearing completion. Every step taken so far now comes together into a cohesive and fully realized structure. From foundation to final form, the transformation is now complete. What began as raw materials has become a solid, functional cabin built through careful planning and steady craftsmanship. Each stage of the process played a critical role, proving that precision, patience, and consistency are what truly bring a structure like this to life.